UN climate talks kicking off today, and guess what is topic one? Sandy, the storm from which they are still cleaning up here, and environmentalists hope they'll be cleaning up there. There being Doha, where some countries are using the storm that dislocated thousands to now redistribute wealth to the tune of billions, all in the name of climate change that Climate Depot's Marc Morano says will cost a lot more than just chump change. Explain what's going on here, Mark.
Well, this is like Pavlov's dogs, where somehow every time there's a bad weather event, the global warming activists think we need taxes and regulations to somehow stop bad weather. This is a primitive form of science. To use Hurricane Sandy as a poster child for global warming, as the United Nations, as Al Gore is now doing, makes as little sense as you can possibly imagine. We're at 30, 40-year historic lows in tropical cyclone activity. We've gone the longest period, I believe, since the Civil War without a major landfalling Category 3 or larger hurricane to hit the United States. If anything, global warming would prevent at least Atlantic hurricanes from making landfall. And the World Meteorological Society said there's no evidence of a human footprint in hurricane activity. So for them to pick that as their poster child means they're completely devoid of science. And we have quotes from global warming activist David Attenborough, from Thomas Schelling, and other activists actually waiting, saying we need a disaster, using words like we're, quote, cheering them on. We need a disaster. We have to wish for a lot of horrid things in order to get the public alarmed about global warming, just like they tried to do with Hurricane Katrina.
But I mean, the wind at their back, no pun intended, is comments from New York Governor Andrew Cuomo and others, says this is indisputable proof of the dangers of climate change and what happens. So when they use more American politicians to make their point, is it the next step to get more American money to rectify this point?
Yeah, what they're trying to do, and President Obama said this in his convention speech, he said it's Americans can, quote, do something, unquote, about floods, hurricanes, droughts, tornadoes, all these different things, as though, first of all, the ballot box, you can vote yourself better weather. Secondly, they actually are implying we can legislate better weather. Mayor Bloomberg in New York actually said we need to take immediate action, not to shore up shorelines and get stuff storm ready, but to try to prevent bad weather in the future, despite the fact that low CO2 hurricanes, i.e. before the modern era, were much worse. And we've had much worse hurricanes, floods, droughts. There's no trend in any of these extreme weather, but they somehow, the idea of a carbon tax is being floated, the idea of EPA regulations, the idea of other climate measures that we could take somehow are going to impact our weather. This has now reached the level of the Mayan calendar and Nostradamus when it comes to science. The New York Times is calling for, it has a picture of the Statue of Liberty underwater, implying that we're at the end times. This is not science. This is the doomsday stuff of the Mayan calendar, and we have no business masquerading it as science.
Well, why also meet in Doha? I mean, I never hear anyone plan a global summit in the Poconos. Poconos is lovely, by the way. But I mean, yeah, they never do that. But it's a very expensive journey to get to Doha, Qatar. I mean, think about it. It's a haul.
I will tell you right now, I was at the United States Senate Environment and Public Works Committee. I got to go to Bali, South America, Africa multiple times. My round-trip ticket to Kenya was about $16,000, if I remember correctly, flying in business class. These are not inexpensive things. Global warming activists usually jam up all the private jets. The runways are literally filled to capacity with private jets from people like Prince Charles and other Hollywood celebrities that fly into these events.
I could bus them all for the United Nations to a Stuckey's in the Poconos for a fraction of that.
They're not interested. They like Cancun, Bali, all these exotic locales, especially in the winter when they have these meetings in December.
Wow. All right, Mark, thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Neil.